Welcome back to Ngong TV and our brand new series, Must-Read Stories.
Quang Min, a 21-year-old girl, is preparing to marry Tan Fong, the eldest master of the Tan family whose company is on the brink of bankruptcy. This decision deeply puzzles her best friend, Min Tin, as the marriage is not based on love. Quang Min reveals her true motive: she wants to repay a life-saving debt. 8 years ago, Tan Fong was the person who rescued her from drowning during a somnambulistic suicide attempt. Currently, Tan Fong's company, Ken Thin, is facing collapse due to a harsh condition set by his grandfather. Quang Min wants to use her mother's inheritance to help him, but her maternal grandfather requires her to enter into a marriage alliance with Tan Fong as a condition. Quang Min agrees, believing it better to marry her benefactor than someone arranged by her family. In their final meeting before registering the marriage, Quang Min decides to conceal the secret of his heroic act so that Tan Fong won't feel guilty later. She frames the marriage purely as a transaction of convenience. She needs a marriage to reassure her grandfather, and he needs the funds to save his company. Despite the awkward and distant relationship, Quang Min firmly asserts, "I don't regret it," when Tan Fong gives her a chance to back out. Tan Fong, focused on his company's survival, also confirms, "Of course, I don't regret it." The two conclude their meeting, ready to proceed with their contract marriage the next day. After their awkward meeting, Tan Fong maintains his formal courtesy, insisting on driving Quang Min to the hot spring resort, noting that they would soon be family. The ride is mostly silent, broken only by Quang Min's playful text exchange with Min Tin. After dropping her off, Tan Fong, left alone, retrieves a wedding ring box from his pocket, which he had been hesitant to present during their drive, revealing his quiet anticipation for the marriage. Meanwhile, at the resort, Quang Min shows Min Tin the unique wedding rings she personally designed, titled Sky, Moon, and Man, symbolizing a perfect, intersecting fit. Quang Min reaffirms to Min Tin that she must keep the debt repayment a secret from Tan Fong, strategically explaining that an emotionally bound relationship would be much harder to end than a transactional one, confirming her commitment to a temporary, interest-based arrangement. The next morning, Tan Fong calls to wake her, only to be captivated by her soft, sleepy voice, which causes him to momentarily forget to breathe. Quang Min then unintentionally hangs up incorrectly and falls back asleep, leaving the call connected. Tan Fong keeps the line open, putting his phone on speaker to listen to her gentle breathing and the playful exchange with her cousin, Kai Tin Lang, who calls her sister. Upon waking, Quang Min realizes the call is still connected and probes cautiously, causing Tan Fong to quickly feign innocence and claim he thought she had hung up earlier. Extremely embarrassed, Quang Min eventually agrees to let him come pick her up for the wedding registration. Quang Min, deeply embarrassed after accidentally leaving the phone line open with Tan Fong, quickly composes herself and dresses meticulously in a white dress for the wedding registration. At home, she is greeted warmly by her family, though her uncle, Quang Kyo, privately disapproves of her marriage into a rumored bankrupt family. Tan Fong arrives and addresses Quang Min's grandfather, Yu Hong Ting, as grandfather with polite formality. On their way out, Tan Fong catches Quang Min as she stumbles while putting on her shoes, and his firm, warm grip sends a shocking sensation through her hand. In the car, Tan Fong takes the initiative to open the previously hidden box and place a large diamond ring on her finger. Quang Min, thinking he showed kindness and knowing he's her savior, returns the gesture by putting his ring on. They successfully register their marriage on March 20, 2017. Surprisingly, the registration photo is beautifully harmonious, with both subtly leaning toward each other and smiling. After registering, Quang Min is instructed to pack her things and move into a separate house with Tan Fong, a move he explains will be more comfortable than living with his extended family. However, they first visit the Tan family mansion, where Kwang Min observes the complex, competitive family dynamics and Tan Fong's polite but busy interactions with his two uncles and cousins. Fong Jia. Tan Fong's mother takes Kwang Min aside, gives her a valuable jade bracelet, a family heirloom for the eldest daughter-in-law, and thanks her for marrying her son during his difficult time, promising to protect her. At dinner, when a cousin attempts to mock Tan Fong for relying on his bride's wealth, Tan Fong quickly asserts his wife's supportive role, placing his hand on Kwang Min's chair and exchanging a loving smile with her to maintain their united front. After shielding Kwang Min from too much alcohol, a heavily intoxicated Tan Fong is driven home. After surprisingly revealing that the news of his company's bankruptcy was a deliberate fake, Tan Fong registers his shock when Kwang Min innocently asks if they should divorce. Blushing furiously when he suddenly calls her my wife, Ba Xa, Kwang Min quickly realizes she cannot terminate the marriage, as it would ruin his deception against the Tan family. She attempts to change the subject, asking where she should sleep for the night. Tan Fong feigns disappointment. Is my wife planning to sleep in a separate room on our wedding night, and presses her to drop the formal senior, Dan on, title for my wife, causing her extreme embarrassment and panic. He then leads her to the bedroom, where both are stunned by the excessive, romantic decor, complete with rose petals and red high, double happiness stickers. After Kwang Min cleans up and changes into pink silk pajamas, she reluctantly gets into the marital bed with Tan Fong, trying to adapt to sharing a space with a man she barely knows. Despite her anxiety, she quickly falls asleep from exhaustion. At this point, Tan Fong reveals that he was not drunk and had intentionally faked it to gauge her reaction. Her immediate suggestion of divorce takes him aback. Once Kwang Min is sound asleep, Tan Fong gently takes her hand, kisses the back of it, and whispers, "Good night, my wife. You must hurry and like me." Okay, thus revealing his true intention to turn their contract marriage into a genuine relationship. In the middle of the night, Tan Fong wakes up cold, only to find Kwang Min has completely stolen the duvet. As he gently tries to pull the blanket back, she instinctively turns and cuddles him tightly, sleeping peacefully with her arms around his waist. Tan Fong, both helpless and amused, embraces her back, whispering that she started it. In the morning, Kwang Min wakes up and is horrified to find herself spooning Tan Fong, with her leg thrown over his. Just as she panics, Tan Fong opens his eyes and greets her with a sleepy, gentle "Good morning, my wife." Kwang Min, utterly mortified, jumps out of bed. Tan Fong, privately amused, reveals to the reader that he had already been awake and intentionally repositioned her to wake up in his arms. Finding her embarrassment adorable, later, while Kwang Min is dressing, Tan Fong finds her wearing a dolphin brooch she designed and notices she has also put on the custom wedding ring on her right hand. He then surprises her by asking her to help him tie his tie and pin his brooch. As she leans in to help the much taller man, their closeness makes her heart race. Kwang Min, trying to sound calm, asks if he's in a rush for work. Tan Fong laughs and confesses his true motive. "I asked you to help because I want to cultivate affection." He explains he read online that such acts improve marital intimacy. He then makes a resolute promise, "Although our marriage didn't start from love, I will be serious and try my best to be a good husband. I will give you all the pampering, attention, and romance possible." Kwang Min, suspecting his firm stance is due to her mentioning divorce the night before, reassures him, "Don't worry, I won't divorce you right now." Tan Fong is immediately stunned by her use of the word "right now," leaving the true status of their commitment completely open-ended.